Test.
We appreciate our Tennessee quiz coordinator for the winner being with us here this weekend. And so I was just about to say we've got a vacancy, but thanks, Brother Jafrida, for filling that. If you see that spot, please feel free to come on up and help for the winner. We also appreciate our Ohio coordinator, Brother Eller, is with us this weekend as well. So thank you to these men for their work in their respective districts. Let's do our buzzer check.
Red 2.
Probably turn that down a little bit. Yeah, just the volume. Okay. All right, you want to clear it? Is it cleared? All right, let's try it again.
Yellow 2.
More acceptable. Quizzers, you can hear me? Let's do our mic check as well.
Test 1, 2. Test 3, 4.
Sounds good. Okay. Particulars out of the way. Got that set up. Everybody's ready to go. You've been adequately caffeinated this morning? Except you. You're too young. Yeah. All right. With everyone in place then. We've got North Texas on the red buzzers and Tennessee on the yellow buzzers, and this quiz is now in session. Question number 1 is worth 10 points. Question. Despise not thy mother when, according...
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
When, according to verse 22 of Proverbs chapter 23, when she is old.
That is correct. Question number 2 is worth 10 points. Question. According to 1 Kings, what are described as precious?
Red 1.
Precious stones.
That is correct. Question number 3 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. In what resteth what?
Red 1.
In the bosom of fools, anger.
That is correct. Question number 4 is worth 10 points. Question. Whoso is simple, let him turn.
Red 3.
Interruption.
Let him turn hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, what? Stolen waters are sweet, and bright eats and secrets pleasant.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Tennessee without interruption. It's worth 10 points. Question. Whoso is simple, let him turn where is found in verse 16 of Proverbs chapter 9.
Yellow 3.
Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither.
That is correct. Question number 5 is a quotation question worth 10 points. Question. One verse of study concludes with the phrase King of...
Red 1.
Interruption.
King of Israel, quote this verse. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, King of Israel.
That is correct. Question number 6 is worth 10 points. Question. Question. Who go right on their ways?
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
Who go right on their ways, as found in verse 15 of Proverbs chapter 9, passengers.
That is correct. Question number 7 is worth 10 points. Question. In righteousness are what is found in verse?
Red 3.
Interruption.
As found in verse 8 of Proverbs chapter 8. All the words of my mouth.
That is correct. Question number 8 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. He that covereth a transgression seeketh.
Red 3.
Interruption.
Seeketh what? And he that repeateth a matter separateth What, as according to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 9, love very friends?
Time.
That is correct. Question number 9 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question. Which verse of Proverbs chapter 10 makes what contrast concern?
Red 3.
Interruption.
What concerning a slack hand and the hand of the diligent? Verse 4, he becometh with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Tennessee without interruption. It's a two-part question worth 20 points. Question. Which verse of Proverbs chapter 10 makes what contrast concerning a mother?
Yellow 1.
Verse 1. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother.
That is correct.
Time.
Question number 10 is a cross-reference quotation question worth... Once again, question number 10 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 20 points. Question. Equity is spoken of in two...
Red 1.
All right, let's find a replacement for that. You want to reset that. And all right. Can we do another buzzer check?
Yellow 1.
All right, I'm not sure. Things seem to be working fine, and then all of a sudden, not fine. Let's go with 1510. Our replacement question for question number 10 is a cross-reference two-part question worth 20 points. Question. According to Proverbs chapter 15, locate the verse that contains the phrase...
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
Contains the phrase prayer of the upright, and locate the verse that contains the phrase prayer of the righteous. Proverbs 15:8, Proverbs 15:29.
That is correct. Question number 11 is worth 20 points. Question. My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my
Red
understanding.
1.
Interruption.
All right. Okay. All right. Not sure what our options are here, except
Point of order,
yes.
just unplug it. The on the top, yep.
Time.
You'll have to turn up the volume now on the laptop. It's going through its own speakers instead of going through a 50-foot cable
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, I know that there have been issues surrounding that, some of those things, but usually it's just sort of a reset and it works out. It's not Mac, right? Doesn't look like a Mac.
No,
So
no,
you're not running-
it's Windows, yet
Ah.
the application's written in Java, should be
Yeah.
written in Microsoft Assemblies.
Yeah.
I could go into more details.
No, no, no. I'm no to get into the weeds. Yeah. Well, a regular buzzer check is going to do this, accomplish the same thing. Yes. All right. Oh. All right.
Yeah, like question one.
All right. Sure. Yeah. At this point, whatever it takes. If I haven't officially called it, we've got an official timeout here, and you can talk amongst yourselves while we work this out. All right. Let me reread question number 9. Right. So let's just sort of fake it here for a moment and interrupt. Well, I mean, you know what's coming, but anyway. It's a 2-part question worth 20 points. Question: which verse of Proverbs chapter 10 makes what contrast concerning a mother?
Red, 1.
All right. That didn't sound like it. You want to, is that as loud as it'll go? Yeah, just crank it. All right, we're at 100. Let's try question number 8, also a 2-part worth 10. Question. Question: he that covereth a transgression seek.
Yellow, 1.
All right, quizzers, can you hear that? The buzzer and the number call, coaches, can you hear that as well? All right. Okay, well, it seems like we've... So we will need a replacement for 11. Let's use 1511. Our replacement question for question number 11. Time in. Our replacement question for question number 11 is worth 20 points. Question: as found in Proverbs chapter 1, what statement is made concerning prosperity of fools?
Yellow, 1.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, my fallback are the 3 R's of IT, right? Reboot, reinstall, reorder.
Refactor.
Mm-hmm.
Developers.
It didn't, yeah. So I'm not sure what that. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just relax, everybody.
Anthony. Problem is we run into macro file. I get this issue when you get into macro file. I think you're because your account's not an admin on my server on my computer that it may cause issues. So like there shouldn't be an issue with hardware on that. Well,
So how are you liking Tennessee so far?
so we may not be running.
To be honest,
We put all
the
of them
best
on that
Indian
list.
place is that Sindor's like the second on the list.
Yes.
Basically, you just go up this road, turn left, and you just keep going straight. And you'll end up.
Do you guys like Indian?
We run the latest
I,
version 16.
It's
Indian's
the best
so
place
good.
for it.
Yes. I recommend going, yeah, it's like down the road. Recommend that. It's so good.
But if you don't order naan, 1 garlic naan, and 2 order a batch, and then make another, or another batch, it'll actually be warm the second time. We may or may not go there almost every other post
We go
church,
there religiously.
Here's a
which is kind of ironic, but
Yeah, it is ironic.
Mano's is good too. Kind of like a sit-down buffet.
It's family style, so you sit down with like other people, and like you're not allowed to have your phones. And you're just
They don't check it, but you shouldn't make fun anyway.
Yeah. Executable.
So, what grades are y'all in? I know you just said sophomore year.
So I don't think, I'm trying to remember.
Oh wow. I'll be a senior. Nice, me too. Any plans for after high school?
I'm planning on going pre-med college.
Nice.
Gosh, you want me to go grab mine?
I'm a freshman in college. Going in my sophomore year in college. So this is my last year. Yes. Yep.
What are you like majoring in?
I'm
Okay.
okay. It's a mouthful. I'm double majoring in multimedia journalism and strategic political communications with a minor in advertising. Yeah.
She's a professional
so-
liar. What?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
have you looked at like colleges?
Yeah, I'm looking at UT Austin and Rice and Baylor.
Rice is
Oh
a
my
really good
goodness,
school.
They are.
That's like my number one, but like, it's not the UT.
That's not for Southern Engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need to get your name. I'm gonna forget it, so I apologize.
I'm Kristen.
Kristen?
you may have to uninstall
Yeah.
that.
Kristen, Jack, Aaron. Jack and Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm Josh.
Julia.
Landon.
I think we're going to
Jack.
We can.
You're gonna forget it in like 5 seconds. You're like,
I will.
what's your name again?
I forgot what question 9 was.
Oh, yeah, me so bad. Wait, what question?
Yeah, again, I don't think that would be the issue.
We did have it like half of the stuff already happened.
Yeah, that's just standard Microsoft stuff.
Yeah, I was so
So, which verses do you not quote?
I'll go grab mine really quick.
Just get.
Swiss user just instantiate all of that. We could try it. Under,
So, what's the quizzing like where you guys are from?
oh,
What's the
yeah,
quizzing
that's
like
not
for
the issue.
North Texas? You guys are the only one?
another good team.
Okay.
We have like another good team, but it's not that competitive. But yeah,
It remembers. Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Okay.
You're not the only team in.
You're looking at Tennessee senior quizzing.
Oh wow. There you go.
Yeah, she's the best female quizzer.
Oh, that's funny.
So y'all haven't had like any tournaments, like, or y'all just went to other
Sure.
states?
We
Hey
just
guys,
travel.
can we get a buzzer check here?
Yellow, 1.
All right. So, pretend I'm reading you a question. First one to get an interruption gets nothing. Except the glory of they hit first.
Yes.
Question, what was the real interruption?
Red, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Again,
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
try yellow two.
Yellow, 2.
How is that as far as soon as you push it, it says yellow two? All right, let's do buzzer check first.
I. What?
Okay.
I'm really sorry,
No,
yellow.
no.
Donuts on me.
We've
How's
all
that?
experienced the, yes.
No, we're just having back in.
Let's use 15, 13. All right. Okay. You good? Yep. All right. Okay. Hopefully we've got this worked out. So time in. Our replacement for question number 11 is worth 20 points. Question concerning wisdom in verses 5 and 6 of Proverbs chapter 4. What are we instruct?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
we're instructed, get wisdom, get understanding, forget not, neither decline from words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee, love for it, and she shall keep thee.
That is correct. Question number 12 is a quotation question worth 20 points question. Quote the two verses following the one that instructs us to exalt.
Red 1,
Interruption.
Exalt wisdom. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many.
That is correct. Question number 13 is a four-part question worth 20 points question. He that getteth what loveth.
Red 1,
Interruption.
Loveth what? He that keepeth what shall find what? As according to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 8. Getteth wisdom, his own soul, understanding shall find good.
That is correct. Contest Tennessee. This contest has been withdrawn. Question number 14 is worth 20 points question. According to our verses of study, how are pleasant words?
yellow 1,
Interruption.
How are pleasant words described? Pleasant words are as in honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones.
That is correct. Question number 15 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. Solomon came to Jerusalem, stood.
yellow 1,
Interruption.
Came to Jerusalem, stood where, offered what, and made a feast to whom, as found in verse 15 of 1 Kings chapter 3. Came to Jerusalem, stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, offered up burnt offerings, offered peace offerings, made a feast to all his servants.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread in North Texas without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 20 points question. Solomon came to Jerusalem, stood where, offered what, and made what?
red 3,
Stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, offered up burnt offerings and offered peace offerings, made a feast to all his servants.
That is correct. Timeout, Tennessee. Time in. Question number 16 is a two-part question worth 20 points question. Who shall find more favor than
red 1,
More favor than whom, as according to Proverbs chapter 28, verse 23, he that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue.
That is correct. Question number 17 is a cross-reference two-part question worth 20 points question. According to Proverbs chapter 26, how many questions are at?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
How many questions are asked, and what are they? The questions are, seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? Am not I in sport? Two questions?
That is correct. Question number 18 is a quotation question worth 30 points question. And the speech pleased the Lord.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
And the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. Quote the verse following this one. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
That is correct. Timeout, North Texas. Time in. Question number 19 is a cross-reference two-part question worth 30 points question. According to the book of Proverbs, which verse contains the phrase, preserveth the way?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Preserve the way of his saints. And which verse contains the phrase, preserveth his soul? Proverbs chapter 2, verse 8, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 17.
That is correct. Question, Kristen, that's your eighth correct question. Let's give her a hand. We have timeout, North Texas. Time in. Question number 20 is a three-part question worth 30 points. Question. According to verses 10 and 11 of Proverbs chapter 13, by pride what happens, by vanity what happens, and by labor what happens?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What happens? Only by pride comes destruction, contention. Wealth got by vantage will be diminished. He that gathereth by labor shall increase.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread in North Texas without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 30 points question. According to verses 10 and 11 of Proverbs chapter 13, by pride what happens, by vanity what happens, and by labor what happens? This quiz is closed. You may now relax. Let's give both these teams a hand. I'm afraid I don't have a matrix directly in front of me, but you all do. So whoever the next two teams on your matrix are, Missouri 2 on the red and Ohio 1 on the yellow, please. Thank you. And the results of this last quiz. 310 points scored. Second place team Tennessee won with 125. North Texas with 185. Second highest scoring individual was Josh with 105. And highest scoring individual was Kristen with 8 correct and 150. Let's give them a hand. Okay. Let's do our buzzer check.
Red 1,
Okay. All right. Put mine in the right spot there. Do we want to chance it with the audio again? Do we really think? Okay. I wonder if that's really the issue, but who knows? It's working now, so. All right, we welcome Missouri 2, who just had their finals last weekend, so yeah, good to see them again. Here on the Red Buzzers, and Ohio 1. Like 5 weeks or so since finals?
Yeah.
Probably the longest stretch this year you've gone without.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So welcome Ohio 1 on our yellow buzzers. This quiz is now in session. Question number 1 is worth 10 points. Question: who is counted wise?
yellow 1,
Interruption.
As recorded in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 28, a fool when he holdeth his peace.
That is correct. Question number 2 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question: Proverbs chapter 2 verse 13 speaks of what kind of
red 2,
Interruption.
What kind of paths and what kind of ways? Paths of brightness, the ways of darkness.
That is correct. Question number 3 is worth 10 points. Question: Proverbs chapter 6 verse 19 records
yellow 3,
Interruption.
Records he that soweth discord where among brethren?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread in Missouri without interruption. It's worth 10 points. Question: Proverbs chapter 6 verse 19 records discord among whom?
red 2,
Brethren?
That is correct. Question number 4 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question: for whom he layeth up
yellow 3,
Interruption.
He layeth up what? For the righteous? The Lord layeth up sound wisdom?
That is correct. Question number 5 is worth 10 points. Question. What shall not be straightened?
Red 2,
By steps. By referring to my son.
That is correct. Question number 6 is worth 10 points. Question. The last verse of Proverbs chapter 1 refers to being quiet.
red 2,
interruption,
Being quiet. From what? Fear of evil.
That is correct. Question number 7 is worth 10 points. Question. As found in the first verse of Proverbs chapter 18, how does a man...
red 1,
interruption,
How does a man separate himself? Through desire.
Time.
That is incorrect. And this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's worth 10 points. Question. As found in the first verse of Proverbs chapter 18, how does a man seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom?
yellow 3,
Through desire. A man having separated himself.
That is correct. Contest, Missouri. This contest has been withdrawn. Question number 8 is a quotation completion question worth 10 points. Question. Mercy Ann.
yellow 3,
interruption,
Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy.
That is correct. Question number 9 is worth 20 points. Question. In the verse that 3 times contains the word wisdom,
yellow 1,
interruption,
Time.
that is incorrect. And this interrupted question will be reread to Missouri without interruption. It's worth 20 points. Question. In the verse that 3 times contains the word wisdom, what is recorded?
Time.
Question number 10 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question. Quote the verse of study that contains the phrase opening.
yellow 1,
interruption,
Opening of my lips. Here, for I will speak of excellent things. And the opening of my lips shall be right things.
That is incorrect. And this interrupted question will be reread to Missouri without interruption. It's a quotation question worth 20 points. Question. Quote the verse of study that contains the phrase openings of the gates.
red 2,
She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying,
That is correct. Question number 11 is worth 20 points. Question. What is recorded concerning mercy and truth?
yellow 1,
mercy, and truth, as found in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee, bind them about thy neck, write them up on the table of thine heart.
That is correct. Question number 12 is worth 20 points. Question. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 8 records, Thy servant is...
Red, one.
Interruption.
Thy servant is in the midst of whom? Thy people, which thou hast chosen a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude.
That is correct. Question number 13 is a three-part question worth 20 points. Question. The verse that concludes with the phrase, there is no new thing on...
Red, two.
Interruption.
There is no new thing under the sun. Records. What is that which shall be? What is that which shall be done? And what is this verse? Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 20 points. Question. The verse that concludes with the phrase, there is no new thing under the sun, also records what concerning the thing that hath been, what concerning that which is done, and what is this verse?
Yellow, one.
The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9.
That is correct. Question number 14 is also a three-part question worth 20 points. Question. What is a mocker? What is
Yellow, one.
Interruption.
What is raging? And who is not wise? As according to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 1. Wine, strong drink, whosoever is deceived thereby.
That is correct. Question number 15 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 20 points. Question. Two verses of study contain the phrase ornament of...
Yellow, one.
Interruption.
Ornament of grace, quote these verses. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee.
That is correct. Timeout, Missouri. Time in. Question number 16 is a two-part question worth 20 points question. Which verse of Proverbs chapter 16 records what two
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What two exclamations? Verse 16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver?
That is correct. Question number 17 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. As recorded in which verse of Proverbs chapter 11, how is the city exalted?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
How is the city exalted? And how is it overthrown? Proverbs 11, verse 11. By the blessing of the upright, by the mouth of the wicked.
That is correct. Question number 18 is a three-part question worth 30 points question. According to verses 10, 11, and 12 of Ecclesiastes chapter 4, the one will lift up his...
Red, 1.
Interruption.
The one will lift up his fellow. Under what condition? They have heat. Under what condition?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 30 points question. According to verses 10, 11, and 12 of Ecclesiastes chapter 4, the one will lift up his fellow under what condition? They have heat under what condition? And two shall withstand him under what condition?
Yellow, 1.
For if they fall, if two lie together, if one prevail against him.
That is correct. Time out, Ohio. Time in. Question number 19 is a cross-reference two-part question worth 30 points. Question. Verse 17 of which two chapters each speak of what type of bread?
Red, 2.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 17, the bread of wickedness. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 17, bread of deceit.
That is correct. Question number 20 is a quotation question worth 30 points. Question. Quote the three verses of Proverbs chapter 14 following the one that contains the phrase hasty of...
Red, 2.
Interruption.
Hasty of spirit. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoureth him hath mercy on the poor. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death.
That is correct. This quiz is closed. You may now relax. Let's give both these teams a hand. We'll now call for Ohio 2 to the red buzzers and South Carolina 1 to the yellow buzzers. And another great quiz in which these two teams totaled 295. Second place team was Missouri 2 with 140. The winning team, Ohio 1 with 155. Second highest scoring individual was Joella with 110, and high scoring individual was Seth with 120. Let's give them a hand. Let's do our buzzer check.
Red 2.
Okay. Welcome Ohio 2 here on the red and South Carolina 1 on the yellow. It's quiz number 3 on your matrix. And it is now in session. Question number 1 is worth 10 points. Question. According to our verses of study, who shall be under
Red 1.
Interruption.
Who shall be under tribute? The slothful.
That is correct. Question number 2 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. With plenty, what shall be
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
What shall be filled?
And with what shall burst out? So shall our barns be filled with plenty, and the pressures are bursting out with new wine?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. With plenty, what shall be filled, and with new wine, what shall burst out, according to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 10.
Red 2.
So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine.
That is correct. Question number 3 is worth 10 points. Question. What shall rot?
Red 1.
The name of the wicked.
That is correct. Question number 4 is a quotation completion question worth 10 points. Question. Ponder.
Red 2.
Interruption.
Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established.
That is correct. Question number 5 is worth 10 points. Question. According to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 35, who shall?
Red 1.
Interruption.
Whoso sinneth against me wrongeth what? His own soul?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to South Carolina without interruption. It's worth 10 points. Question. According to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 35, who shall obtain favor of the Lord?
Yellow 2.
For whoso findeth me findeth life.
That is correct. Question number 6 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. By how many things is a nick?
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
Is iniquity purged, as according to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 6, by mercy and truth, two things?
That is correct. Question number 7 is worth 10 points. Question. According to Proverbs chapter 3, envy thou not?
Red 1.
Interruption.
Envy thou not whom? The oppressor?
That is correct. Question number 8 is worth 10 points. Question. A talebearer reveal.
Red 2.
Interruption.
A talebearer revealeth what? Secrets?
That is correct. Question number 9 is worth 20 points. Question. According to verse 8 of Proverbs chapter 30, what 3 instruct?
Yellow
What 3 instructions are given? Remove far from me vanity and lies, give me neither poverty nor riches, feed me with food convenient for me.
That is correct. Question number 10. Question number 10 is a cross-reference, two-part question worth 20 points question. Which verses of study refer to the Proverbs of
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
The Proverbs of Solomon. Proverbs 10:1, Proverbs 1:1.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a cross-reference two-part question worth 20 points question. Which verses of study refer to the Proverbs of whom?
Red, 1.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1. Solomon.
That is correct. Question number 11 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. As found in verses 26 and 27 of Proverbs chapter 31, she openeth what?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
In her tongue is what?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to South Carolina without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 20 points. Question. As found in verses 26 and 27 of Proverbs chapter 31, she openeth what? She looketh well to what? And eateth not what?
Yellow, 1.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
That is correct. Question number 12 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question. Quote the verse that refers to a blot.
Yellow, 1.
He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot.
That is correct. Question number 13 is worth 20 points. Question. According to the words of Solomon, verse 6 of 1 Kings chapter
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Chapter 3. Says that thou shouldn't have given my father great mercy according to what as never mind.
That is incorrect. And this interrupted question will be reread to South Carolina without interruption. It's worth 20 points. Question. According to the words of Solomon in verse 6 of 1 Kings chapter 3, how hast thou showed thy servant David my father great mercy?
Yellow, 2.
According as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and uprightness of heart with thee, and thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son instead of a stone, as it is this day.
That is correct. Timeout, Ohio. in. Question number 14 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. As found in verses 27 and 28 of Proverbs chapter 16, what is recorded concerning an ungodly?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
An ungodly man. What is recorded concerning a froward man? And what is recorded concerning a whisperer? An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire. A froward man soweth strife. A whisperer separates chief friends.
That is correct. Question number 15 is a two-part question worth 20 points question. Whose wisdom excelled who?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Whose wisdom excelled? The wisdom of whom? And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt.
That is correct. Contest, Ohio. This contest has been withdrawn. Question number 16 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. Once again, question number 16 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. Who is instructed to lay not wait again?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Against whom? And spoil not what?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a three-part question worth 20 points question. Who is instructed to lay not wait against what and spoil not what?
Red, 1.
O wicked man, the dwelling of the righteous, his resting place, his referring to the righteous.
That is correct. Question number 17 is worth 20 points. Question. According to verse 33 of Proverbs chapter 30, surely what?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Surely what happens? Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood, so the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife.
That is correct. Question number 18 is a cross-reference two-part question worth 30 points. Question. According to Proverbs, which two verses record pride cometh, and which verse?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Time has expired. That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Ohio without interruption. It's a cross-reference two-part question worth 30 points. Question. According to Proverbs, which two verses record pride cometh, and which verse records pride goeth?
Red, 1.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 2, Proverbs chapter 13 verse 10, Proverbs chapter 16 verse 17.
Incorrect. Timeout, Ohio. Time in. Question number 19 is a quotation question worth 30 points. Question. One verse of study speaks of fishes.
Red 2.
Interruption.
Quote this verse. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them.
That is correct. Question number 20 is a timeout just in time. South Carolina. Time in. Question number 20 is a four-part question worth 30 points. Question. According to verses 15, 16, and 17 of Proverbs chapter 9, a foolish woman called.
Red 1.
Interruption.
Foolish woman calleth whom? And saith to whom what? To call passengers to go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn hither. And as for him that wanted understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to South Carolina without interruption. It's a four-part question worth 30 points. Question. According to verses 15, 16, and 17 of Proverbs chapter 9, a foolish woman calls to whom what, and saith to whom what? This quiz, we have contest, Ohio. This contest has been withdrawn, and this quiz is now closed. You may relax. Let's give both these teams a hand. Next quiz, we'll see North Texas won on the red buzzers and Ohio won on the yellow buzzers. And the results of this last quiz, the second place team, Ohio 2 with 85. The winning team, South Carolina 1 with 130. Second high scoring individual was Jared with 60, and high scoring individual was Colton with 90. Let's give them a hand.